Welcome everyone to another episode of Football Armchair Experts, where we pretend to know everything, but actually we know nothing. Liz Truss lasted just 45 days as British Prime Minister. There are not many things that are shorter than that, but I think I know something that's shorter though. Liverpool's title challenge. 6 days after their 1-0 win over Manchester City, it came crashing down after a 1-0 defeat at Nottingham Forest. Here to analyse everything that happened in the past 2 weeks. Liverpool fan Imran, Chelsea fan Robin, Newcastle fan Manjun, I myself Mark, I'm a Fulham fan. We can start with Liverpool. Very mixed bag of 2 weeks. Not sure how you're feeling overall, but I think we can start with the euphoria of the 1-0 win over Man City.
Yeah, I mean the performance against Man City was very good. And so, I mean, you can't get a clean sheet against Man City and, I mean, win against them if it wasn't a good performance. So I think that was like a throwback to when Liverpool were at the top of their game. Yeah, it was like a similar performance where every player was like sort of at their best, and then like the defense was quite impressive. Yeah, so I mean, at that point, I thought like, shit, maybe Liverpool has turned a corner. It's like was it like a third win in a row or something? They had a win before that, then they had a win against Rangers, and then now they win against Man City. I guess it's not a turning a corner. It was just like a overperformance against a rival, I guess.
Liverpool Man City, that they have every chance to win. Yeah, like we know, there's no surprise at all.
Is it no surprise at all?
Is it? I mean, they tend to step up, given their bad form, but we still expect them to play well. It's brought a test.
Okay.
But this Forest game, okay, I didn't watch it so I don't know the goal. I don't know the circumstances of the goal, but it sounds like looking at the stats, right? It seemed like they didn't really turn up also. Yeah,
Okay.
and looking at the lineup, right, like they played 3 of their kids. So I'm wondering like what's up with that? Like they played 3 of their ICT00 kids in this game.
Oh, okay. It took a while to register what you meant, but okay. Born after 2000 now.
Yeah. So not really sure what's going on with that.
Okay. But I think against Man City, I mean, I can't remember the lineup already, but against Man City, you all didn't exactly have your full first team either. So James Milner was playing right back. I mean, James Milner was definitely not born after 2000. But I think he was already 35 at 2000. But even like your midfield and all that, like there was, I think Harvey Elliott started the game, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Harvey Elliott. Then it was Fabinho and Thiago, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so it's not like wholly drastically different. I mean, yes, I think Thiago was ruled out, so he was replaced by Curtis Jones. That's the only difference.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think so far, even though people were saying the kids in general have been doing okay for Liverpool this season, but I think that's the reason for our instability also.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I think maybe individually they're okay, but like as a squad, it's not really making sense yet. Like there's no, I don't know if somehow like the composition is wrong or what, but the games that we play the kids, usually we don't really do well. Even though technically the spine of the team should be the same, but I'm thinking maybe if it's because there's like too many changes. Yeah, like if you just put like Harvey Elliott in or one of them in, I think it's still okay, right? Because no matter like how inconsistently they perform, like the squad as a whole should still be okay. But if you go and change the whole midfield, or even like both sides of the midfield, then it sort of like screws up with the chemistry really.
Okay.
It's like very hard. Yeah, maybe like the linking from the defense to the attack not very smooth.
Going a little bit back to the Man City game, still have to ask Robin, like, did Liverpool sort of give us like a sort of blueprint on how to stop Erling Haaland? I mean, they are the first side to stop Erling Haaland since Bournemouth.
Also hard to say, because Haaland did have chances. I think that one goal was quite tightly ruled out after the VAR check, which I think could have gone either way. It seems like the threat is De Bruyne, to be honest. Like you stop the supply to Haaland, then it should be fine. Because I don't think they particularly did anything different, or they marked Haaland specifically tighter or anything. So I think it's more of they controlled the midfield pretty well against City, especially I think in the second half. And then they hit on a counter attack. So they gave City more to think about at the back than most teams did. So I think that was the blueprint, if anything. Liverpool had to be much more disciplined than I think their usual selves, trying to chong forward with their fullbacks and everything. Maybe it helps that it wasn't Trent playing. That's something contentious maybe, but I think that was a good factor also. Plus, James Milner had a sick game again as usual. This old man always turns up for the big game. I don't know why. Yeah, so it's quite annoying to see like Man City so like struggling. It's so unlike them. But it's quite good lah. Even Foden had a very quiet game. So I think they stopped the City midfield very, very well lah.
I think keeping Phil Foden quiet, I think that would have pleased England quite a lot. But in terms of the Nottingham Forest game, I mean, none of us saw it. Nobody would have planned to watch it either. But a loss is a loss, and Liverpool are now 12 points behind the top of the table Arsenal. Have to ask England. Yes, at that point you were still thinking, if Liverpool were going on a run, maybe you could see Liverpool sort of squeak their way back in the title race. Is it already over?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's already been over even before that Man City game. So there's too many points behind already. Don't expect them to drop like that many points every season. I mean, or like for this particular season. And yeah, I mean, since then, I think most fans were like, okay, maybe it's like turning into a top 4 race, not really a title race anymore.
I think it's still early to write them off the top 4. I think they are just damn unlucky with injuries lah. Like when you lose your midfield like that, to what was already, I feel like aging midfield, wow, it really hits them quite hard lah. And then to Klopp's credit, he's sort of tweaking the tactics a little bit to try and refresh things, and it seems to work for a while until this freak result. But I think they'll bounce back. So I don't think there's a big issue. It's just that they are very unlucky with injuries lah.
Does it mean now that Man City are not as invulnerable as we thought they were?
I think they never were invulnerable. Like I think you can always have a go at them actually, because their defense has been, I wouldn't say their defense has been shaky or what, but I think the difference between now and maybe the previous few seasons is it's a lot harder for you to go at them last time because they had so much possession and they had so much control over the game, right? So what little attack you have against them is easily stopped. But I think this season is a different Man City. They're playing a lot less control, I feel. But don't know whether that's maybe a good thing because they are managing to win games even without playing at their best because of Erling Haaland. I mean, and he's not one to come back to, I guess, to pressure the opposition or to press when they lose the ball. And then if you go and play Mahrez and Grealish together, I think all of them don't really chase back on. They just quite lepak. So City is it's quite a different City this time around, which I think but which may not necessarily be a bad thing.
But in terms of the title picture, I guess the other side we have to talk about is Arsenal. They also squeaked out a dirty 1-0 win over Leeds. So sort of showing that they have a little bit of that title credentials in them.
Yeah, I think so. They have a bit of this title winning luck. What they like to call character, right? Freaking end of the game match, the report, they always say they got character to hold on to the victory and all that. I think they were a bit lucky or very lucky against Leeds because Leeds were piling a lot of pressure on Arsenal. So Leeds probably deserved to equalize and draw. Against Liverpool, I can't remember. It's been quite a while already, but I think they were very strong. I think second half or what, then they considered the 2 goals or something like that, right? I can't remember. But yeah, I think a little bit of luck also. But to credit to them, they hung on. Then eventually it was going to break. So I think Southampton deserved a bit of luck there. I think Arsenal played very well against Southampton recently, but then Southampton's goal was damn nice. Yeah, it was just one attack in the whole 90 minutes maybe.
I mean, Southampton did score an equalizer through Stuart Armstrong. So I guess I have to ask Manjun, does this mean that strong arm tactics will work against Arsenal?
I have no idea what the fuck.
Okay, it's meant to be a pun, that's all. Does it make you feel maybe it's the old Arsenal back again?
No, I mean, these things are about to happen once in a while. They can't be winning all the time. So, I mean, have to see what happens next game. I know who they're playing this game. If maybe they
Nothing
who are they playing this game. If they screw that up, then probably have to look into it. But I don't expect them to.
Okay, why not? Let's look into it. We'll start with Arsenal against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, I think I have no doubt Arsenal would smack Forest. They should. Yeah, if go for scores, I'll just say 3-0.
Okay, maybe they got confidence now. I'll say 3-1.
Nottingham not gonna beat another top side 2 games in a row. So I think they're gonna regress to their usual standards. I think 2-0 Arsenal.
Can't tell if England trying to do this reverse psychology tactic, but okay. Going to go Arsenal 2-0 also. Yeah. In terms of actually, this is an interesting question. Let's say, for example, Arsenal managed to win the title. How big of an achievement is this for Arsenal? Especially because it's this Man City side with Erling Haaland.
Yeah, I think it's them sick. They got to thank Amazon for their change in luck, man. But yeah, I think it's huge. It's a huge achievement because it's not like they have no Europe. They still need to fly around for Europa. Plus, Arteta is quite fresh in a way. Although I've kind of been low-key supporting the fella. But then, yeah, I think it's a huge win if they manage to survive the full season, which I don't think they will.
Okay, but let's play on this hypothetical. I have to ask England. Jurgen Klopp, when he took over Liverpool, was 7th in the table and eventually won Liverpool the title. We're talking just in Premier League terms, not talking about Champions League.
Mm.
Does this mean because when Arteta took over, Arsenal were 8th? Does this mean Arteta's achievement is better than Klopp's?
I don't think so. Even if he wins with this Arsenal side, because he hasn't been doing well every season since he took over. It hasn't been top 4 yet, right? So
correct.
I don't know if they from after winning a title, if they manage to challenge consistently at the top, then maybe I would say his achievement is better. But currently, it feels like a freak season for Arsenal. So I don't really know whether it's the real standard or it's just like they had a high and then they ride on their wave of confidence, which many teams can do.
I think we've let Manjun wait long enough to talk about his team already. Newcastle, form team of the Premier League, 13 points in the last 5 games. There's 4 wins and a draw, including thrashing Fulham 4-1, thrashing Brentford 5-1, beating Spurs 2-1. I think that's the statement win for Spurs last night. Yeah, so what's changed with Newcastle?
Oh, I mean, if you watch on the show, you talk about the attitudes kind of things. But we're not here for that. We don't know how to analyze attitudes. So
we need not to analyze facts, is it?
Don't analyze facts. I think the fact for this game, Newcastle played alright. And I played alright. But I think, I don't know. I think this Spurs is freaking shaky. I mean, the old man at the back, I think he has to hit. I think very error prone nowadays. You see an error or 2 from him every game. So, not surprising for this. Then their defense looks damn shaky. I don't know what's wrong with them, man. Like you press them a bit, right? And they go haywire. But I don't think we play impressive. Like what Aaron Shearer said. Oh, that's so impressive at that.
I'm sure you're getting very excited.
You don't have the chance to say that very often.
That's true. Might as well cash in on it now.
Hey, but that Son Heung-min got fucking 3 shots in the first 3 minutes. I was scared the hell of me, sir.
Yeah.
It's like he really want to score there. But after that, I think he never showed it.
I'm sure you're quite confident for Newcastle to go into this next game against Aston Villa.
Oh, Villa. Oh, shit.
Why oh shit?
Hold on. Maybe on the high, but we also on the high. It should be fine. I don't see any big issues. Well, very long never hear say this kind of thing anymore.
Yeah.
Like, should be a winner against Villa.
Hello, you are 4th in the table now.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, 2 points behind Spurs.
Hey, Spurs are come on, Spurs are voting. But yeah. Okay, I think it should be no issue.
You'll be talking about what's the gap between you and Arsenal.
Let's not go crazy, guys. Let's not go crazy. I still feel he's overachieving with this team. But yeah, okay.
Okay. I mean, like you said, overachieving in this team. So, like, how high do you think Newcastle can finish?
I think the ceiling is 5th. I would think.
Okay.
The ceiling is 5th. I don't think top 4. No, I think Liverpool will catch up. So I think that's out of the question. I don't think Spurs will score so bad until they get knocked out of the top 4. Don't know . Just saying May I jinx them. I think ceiling is 5th. Maybe 5th to 8th would be a good season for us.
Okay. Have to ask Robin. Scared of Newcastle?
I don't know. Scared's not the right feeling. I think wary . But I agree that they are overachieving with this squad that they have. But it's quite interesting that they are still without Saint-Maximin. And it's just like matched by a upturn in form by the Almiron guy. Walao, always undermine the fella, then now he got purple patch. It's quite scary.
Jack Grealish also undermine him also.
Yeah, you blame Jack Grealish, right? Go and talk cock. Then Almiron angry, it's like, gonna show you, man.
So credit to Newcastle. I mean, they're playing really well. I think not so easy to beat them these days. And I think that helps a lot . Yeah, so I think wary, but I don't think they'll be top 4 also.
Okay. England, impressed with Newcastle. I mean, like they've conceded the fewest number of goals in the league. I'm surprised by that stat, by the way. I always thought Newcastle didn't really have that good a defense.
Yeah, very impressed actually. And I feel like I don't feel like it's a fluke. It's like, yes, they are sort of overperforming, but I don't think they are overperforming a lot because they are.
Yeah.
I think you can see like progress made from when they started. When the what's his name again? The manager.
Steve Bruce.
And
Steve Bruce.
Not Steve Bruce lah. The new
Eddie Howe.
yeah. Nobody cares about Steve Bruce. But yeah, I think there's like gradual improvement and progress along the way. It's not like they suddenly become good. And also it's not like, I don't know, I think I compare it to like maybe when, especially to Arsenal, when Arteta and like Unai Emery actually took quite a while to get the team going. Whereas Eddie Howe sort of like got off to a good start already when he joined, and then the results have been like gradually improving until where they are now. So I think there's a definite progression within the squad. So I don't think it's a fluke. I think they can, yeah, I feel like they are sort of at the level of Leicester, West Ham, Wolves when they were sort of like pushing for top four. And I think that's where they should be by the end of the season. I think 2-1 Newcastle.
Yeah, I think 2-1 lah. I'll go for 2-1.
I'm going 2-0 Newcastle. Robin.
I'll go 1-0 Newcastle.
Next up is the Graham Potter derby, Brighton against Chelsea.
A lot of the wins also came from a place of luck. See, Kepa needed to be a Superman because you're conceding so many chances and letting him save, right? And build his highlight reel, which if you are a very good defensive team, you shouldn't be. The keeper should be doing fucking little. Yeah, so or cautious optimism lah. What I'm pleased is that Graham Potter will change tactics in the middle of the game, like not afraid to sub people out and try to make something else work. Very evident in the recent United game lah. We were playing like shit, man. We were getting like dominated by United for a good 30 plus minutes. Then he subbed Cucurella or something. Yeah, then bring on Kovacic. So he changed a lot of things in midway, but still not very convinced by the attack. For someone who made Brighton play such nice football, I haven't seen in Chelsea fully yet lah. Maybe against Milan, that's the only one, but they had men sent off, that kind of shit. So pinch of salt, but I think it's a work in progress that I need to be very patient for. So I don't expect anything from Chelsea. It's just I'm trying to wait and see what he does.
May I go for 2-1 Chelsea lah?
I think Chelsea already has 2 draws. I think they're going to have one more draw. Going to be 1-1.
Okay.
Oh, another draw. Well, that's it.
I also think it'll be a draw, 1-1 between Brighton and Chelsea. Robin, by how much?
No. I agree. I think it'll be a draw because Chelsea.
Okay, everybody doing this reverse psychology.
Yeah. I think
only Manjun has the balls to say his team's going to win.
I said Liverpool going to win.
Sorry, yeah, it's against Leeds though, but yeah.
Yeah, a bit scared lah. Don't know which Brighton will show up because sometimes they will disappoint. But the common theme is that they struggle to score some games. Then suddenly, Trossard will get a hat trick, that kind of thing.
Actually, under the Zerbi, they haven't been scoring really. So
very little. I think only the Liverpool game they score a lot. That's it. Yeah, I'll agree. I think it's 1-1. Chelsea's a bit soft. I hate the way we considered against United. Quite typical lah. I feel like I've experienced this disappointment many times already recently. United played really well, to be fair.
Impressed with Eric Ten Hag because he's beaten Liverpool, beaten Arsenal, drawn to Chelsea, beaten Spurs. There's pretty good run of form against especially the big teams, even though he did lose big against Man City.
I think he's doing well, but I don't think it's very, very impressive yet. But of course, it still needs time because his style also needs all the fitness, need all the pattern of play. I don't know what. So I think it's a good start. I mean, I don't think he's under fire or anything. It's doing enough to get by, but he should be doing better, I guess, next season. You give him one full season to develop the squad. But as he's doing, I think he's doing fine. But I don't know if that's enough for the fans because doing fine, he's still 6. So you're still not going to be in the Champions League. Yeah, and I don't know where they are going to end up at the end of this season, but I don't think they'll be top 4.
We'll find out what a Man U fan really thinks about it next week. Yeah, but in terms of this week, we'll start with Manjun, Man U West Ham.
3-1 Man U win.
Go to 2-1 Man U win.
I think gonna be a draw. I think gonna be 0-0.
Go 1-0 Man United win.
Okay. Can. I always think David Moyes, whenever we go back to Man U, always with his ass at the ready. Ready to get
It's a Steve Bruce, I say what.
Yeah,
yeah, it's a part of the Steve Bruce gang. So you talk about 5th place Chelsea, you talk about 6th place Man U. So obviously, naturally, you talk about 7th place Fulham. And home to
Oh.
Good one. Wow, that's
Fulham's 18 points in 12 games is the 4th best start by a promoted team. The last 3 sides that actually have done better are West Ham, 21 points, Hull City, 20 points, and West Ham again, 19 points. So this is the best start by a promoted team since 2013. Have to ask Manjun, you were the only one out of the 4 of us to predict Fulham to go down. Are you ready to retract that or not?
it's a long season. Okay, I mean, yeah, I probably can retract that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I probably retract it already. I don't see him going down. More, I think maybe top 10 challenge will be more possible also. I think. Yeah.
No.
No, then never mind.
That's
I take it back.
too
Sorry,
early to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely not relegation. I think the bottom 3 teams now, they probably screw out themselves. So we know how bad Fulham play. I think probably they will be safe.
Yeah, Fulham at home against Everton. Luckily for Frank Lampard, he managed to get a good result against Crystal Palace. If not, maybe it'll be 3 managers in a row that we put in the hot seat. But Everton away, and good news for Frank Lampard, Dominic Calvert-Lewin is back. So have to ask Robin, do you feel a little bit smug that Frank Lampard has outlasted Steven Gerrard? There's a little bit of rivalry, right?
I don't give a damn. Happy for him, but I don't compare with Gerrard. Yeah, just relieved for Frank. I'm quite surprised he lasted this long, to be fair. I think a lot of us predicted he got a sack. So
yeah,
somehow he's surviving and playing decently. So now that Calvert-Lewin's back, I think he's safe for this year.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't know about this year. There's quite a lot. Okay, this year, okay. As in, you're talking about like 2022. I thought like for 1 year.
Season, I think this season he should be fine.
Fulham Everton. We start with Imran.
I think draw. I think it's gonna be 2-2.
Yeah.
Don't think Fulham.
Because if it's a Fulham win, it's 3 wins in a row. I find it hard to believe also.
Yeah, I'm a bit sus. Yeah. Actually, I don't know. Yeah. Everton also not doing very well, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin coming back after such a long time, confirm rusty. And they are technically only 1 point ahead of Aston Villa. So his performance is the same as Steven Gerrard's.
Okay, to minus the 3 points, Aston Villa won this weekend without him.
Oh, right.
This is not a reverse psychology thing. I have a sneaky think Everton will win. I'm going to go Everton 2-1.
Hey.
I mean, Everton, they have good performances like last week against Palace. But so they also can fuck up against Newcastle over there.
Okay, if you're going to predict a Fulham win, right, they will go level on points in Newcastle.
Oh, wow.
So big, share the points, yes. Then I think it will be a Fulham win. I think it will be a...
I'm trying to jinx it.
Whatever. I jinxed it. Can they score 3 goals 3 matches in a row? No, they cannot. So it's 1-0 Fulham. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'll still take that also. Don't need to score 3 every game, Robin.
Yeah, because Fulham's home, Everton's not good away. I'm very tempted to say Fulham win. But I kind of like Calvert-Lewin and Gordon, right? So I think I'll go for a draw, 1-1.
Okay, definitely take draw also. I think at this point, the draw is good enough.
You take a draw against Everton. Like a bit...
I think can win at home.
Can win, you're at home some more, come on.
We have to look at the points tally. The 19 points at this point is very good already. Even though we know nothing, hopefully today you've learned something. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Oh, it's so fast.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.